Already it's like a million miles a minute. Ooh.
This is live though.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Deviations all
Oh, it's great.
ついたその目を閉じて触れてみれば同じ形同じ体温の悪魔僕はダメであいつはいいのそこに壁があっただけなのに生まれてしまった定め嘆くな僕らはみんな自由なんだから鳥のように羽があれば
We'll see if later on in the song she chooses to push into that melody more. However, that is not even the point here. The point here is, holy crap, it's a lot of words. And even though the melody so far isn't too, like we've heard some Japanese songs that are like, woo, crazy. But this would be hard. It just would be hard to stay in the box.
Yeah.
And you're right, this is live. It is unedited from all intents and purposes.
Yes.
It's very natural and it would be hard.
どこへだって行けるけど帰る場所がなければきっとどこへも行けない
Do you like that tone? To me, I would prefer her to go into more of a mix or a belt. I don't know if this is a traditional sound to make, but my ear would say like, you should, like she's using a pointy head voice instead of just leaning in to my ear.
It's tricky because I love the anime. This is an anime
Is this
theme
what,
song.
but is this traditionally what would be done in like, is this a Japanese cultural thing? Because let me see if I can emulate what I would do. Let me just see.
どこへも行けないただ
Yeah. What is this?
いけない.
Ooh, it's only F sharp, but
Your voice hasn't recovered. I can hear it. I can hear it.
there's like boogers and
Yeah,
all sorts of stuff going on.
Yeah.
ただただ生きるのは嫌だ
Pretty.
世界は残酷だそれでも君を愛すよ
You like that?
Like this is tricky because every anime song kind of sets its own tone. Like you can't really compare. Oh, this is anime style. No, there's no such thing as anime
Well,
style.
then I guess I will just say,
Yeah.
personally, I would prefer her to not switch.
I
but
understand,
perhaps
yes.
that is what it's supposed to be. I can't say. I would love to hear the original song to see if she does that. That actually would be very telling.
何を犠牲にしてもそれでも君を守るよ間違いだとしても疑ったりしない正し
Can you pull this up, please?
Yeah.
さとは自分のこと強く信じることだ
So that last piece felt purposeful to me where she softened into it, but please do pull it up.
I think it's the same every time.
You think she'll do it just like this?
Just like that.
鉄の雨が降り散る情景テレビの中映画に見えたんだ戦争なんて愚かな今日関係ない知らない国の話それならなんであいつに組んで黒い気持ち隠しきれないわけ説明だってできやしないんだ僕らはなんて矛盾ばっかなんだ
So she goes big there. Okay, she
This is
switched,
switch,
but
yeah.
differently. This is cleaner switch.
Oh, okay.
But you're right. Lots of switching.
Yeah. So it's built by design. She's being true to the original. Right?
Yeah, I would have to listen back and see where she did her switches, but I will say that when a singer switches into a thinner tone or a headier tone or whatever you want to call it, there are certain, in my opinion, in my experience, there are certain tones that will sound more like you're doing it on purpose artistically, and then there are certain tones you can switch to that sound like, oh, she couldn't do it. And it doesn't matter, even if the singer is doing it on purpose, you can have it accidentally sound like it isn't, depending on the kind of tone. What I will sometimes say to people is the tone versus air ratio. How hooty it is versus how falsetto-y versus how, airy. Now, I would say that's a cleaner performance, but that's a commercial recording.
Yeah.
Right? We're watching a live performance where she's navigating everything live. When you record something in studio, there's a zillion things we're doing, differently. But thank you for showing that to me. That gives me some perspective. Glad you showed that to me. No, it really helped.
Yeah.
It really helped. So okay, this is the tone I don't like as much, and I think I now know she's doing it completely on purpose, but that hooty tone makes it feel, I don't know, listen. This tone, and she's not always doing it. Sometimes it's closer to that. I'm just sharing my innermost thoughts here. I do think this is a fantastic performance, though. Even regardless of everything I've said, these Japanese songs it's a very different skill set than, say, a song like that I would cover, but very, very, very challenging.
Yeah.
It almost feels like singing if it were a Nintendo game. Like it's like you have to hit like jump, go, leap, run. Like there's so much. It just feels in my head like holy crap. There's a lot involved. I want to point out one more thing on these register changes. Every vocalist has a slightly different instrument. Even if you're comparing female to female, our instruments are shaped ever so slightly differently. Everybody has a different range. So what happens when we try and emulate another singer, if we try and switch where let's say that girl wrote the song or the song was written for her, she designed the performance, whatever. Yeah. When we try and emulate another singer's register shifts that were very natural and made sense to them, when we take them on as our own, it won't always suit our instrument, right? If a trumpet player said, I'm going to play this song just like that flute does, it's not going to translate all the time. So and she may be doing this, so I'm not talking about her directly, but what I suspect could be possible is instead of switching where her instrument makes sense, she may be switching where the original artist switched to be true to the original, and that doesn't always translate. So whether she should be switching on a higher threshold or a lower threshold, I won't comment on. But sometimes it sounds more authentic to switch where your voice wants you to switch as opposed to where another singer, even if it's the original singer, that doesn't mean it works for us. Yeah. But I'm not saying it's not working for her. This is a fabulous performance. Yeah. Nice to hear that kind of pitch deviation for me.
It's very live.
Very human. Very live. This is a very high energy performance too. Yeah. Very good.
I love all the soundtracks from that anime.
Do you know this song?
Oh, it's just I can't sing it, but
But
yes,
no, but I
yes.
mean, like you recognize
I'm
it. It's
familiar
familiar.
with it. Yeah,
got
yeah,
it.
yeah,
Got
yeah,
it. Got it. Got it. Okay.
Yeah, Attack on Titan, really cool anime.
Oh
Well, you know,
no, I've heard you say that.
Attack on Titan.
Huh? Is that a newer one?
It's been around for a long time. It's like got 4 seasons.
Oh wow.
Like really good. The story.
What is the story?
Story? It's about like human being trapped inside walls because of titans, like because of like giants, like men-eating giants.
So why are they trapped?
Oh, that's the story. The whole show is basically unfolding the mystery of who the titans are and who the people are inside the walls. It's very deep. It's very mature. Very good show.
It sounds like a nightmare a little bit.
It's quite dark.
Okay.
Quite dark. Very.
So it's not for kids.
I'm watching it with my boy.
Yeah.
It's good.
Cool.
It's really good.
Cool.
It really I think it discovers the true nature about war.
Well, that's timely.
Explores that idea behind why are people fighting constantly. So like even though the story is very fictional, but the ideas behind everything is very, very
Well,
real.
I think that's good that you're having your boy watch it because I think it's very easy to see how history repeats.
Yes.
Or very easy to forget. I'm not sure how I
Yes.
worded that, but sometimes we forget, like, I'm not saying that each war doesn't have its own religious or cultural
Yeah.
or whatever historic divides, but it's like, it's kind of like,
Yeah. History will always repeat.
well, that's the funny thing hearing people talk about war too. Some people get very impassioned on, you know, they're cheering for, I hate to say it that way, but they're cheering for a particular side or they're explaining it from a certain lens. And while it's probably relevant what they're describing,
Yeah.
it is a grain of sand in a desert where
Yes.
there's a million kaleidoscopic different
Yeah.
angles to view it from.
You should watch it. It's really good show. It's really, really good. Like in the end, it feels like nobody is ever evil. But
Wow, that's
yet,
bizarre. It's like everybody's evil.
Yet everyone is evil.
Yes. Well, I mean, do you know Lord of the Flies? Do you know the story Lord of the Flies? We have to read it in high school here.
I think I have.
Well, the concept is, I believe.
Well, I went to high school here, so I must have.
Well, but you didn't have to read it. It's like on the possibility that you could be presented. But I think a plane crashes on a deserted island kind of thing.
Yeah.
And these kids then have to kind of create their own society, basically. And
Sounds like Lost.
Probably Lost was probably referred to it, but what you see is how some people rise to power.
Yes.
Some people are followers, some people are leaders.
Yeah.
You know, if there's someone that they're going to pick on, everybody gets on board because, well, I don't want it to be me, so we're going to throw stuff at that guy.
Yeah.
That way I won't get bullied, so we'll bully that guy. And you see the structure of society kind of form even in the most blank slate with these kids.
Yeah.
And I mean, war is related to what I just said. It's this human nature of everybody wants power. Everybody wants, you know, money, which is power.
Everyone's got their reason.
Yes. Well, as you said, as we were saying, you can look at it through about a million different lenses and perspectives.
Yeah.
Some people are certain that this is the good guy and the righteous person and the righteous cause.
Yeah.
But they can only see through their own experiences.
And the media tries to brainwash people into believing that, oh yeah, there's the evil side and there's the good, righteous side.
Yes, actually, I would go so far, Jay, as to say that whatever the media is pushing, I'm immediately like, what else?
Yeah,
What's
yeah,
beside
yeah,
that?
yeah,
because
yeah.
that narrative is often has a purpose.
Yes.
Let's say has a
Yes.
purpose. So this is kind of a.
You will enjoy the show. I think you will enjoy it. Watch it. Watch.
It's in Japanese and I have to read subtitles the whole time.
Or well, actually, there's English dubbed version. I prefer Japanese dubbed.
You know, I just have such terrible eyesight. Oh, you prefer
I
prefer to listen to it in Japanese.
Listening to it in Japanese and reading the subtitle because Japanese voiceovers are usually the best.
Yes, I'm sure.
But there are English versions
Yeah.
that you can just watch.
Yeah. Well, I'll consider it.
Recommend.
Are you a singer or voice user trying to rehab your voice from cold and flu? We're all voice users. I keep a humidifier by my bed all year round. I like to use a Navage to clean out all the leftover boogies, But you could use any neti pot. Homemade chicky nudie soup made by my sister with love. It's really warm, nice on the throat. But the very most important thing is to rest, is to sleep. Our body heals when we're sleeping. And getting off the voice and just shutting up for a bit, real important.